everyone, we're going to cover antonyms today, which means opposite. So throughout the presentation I'll use the word opposites because it is slightly less confusing than that horrible word antonyms, as it can be quite tricky to say. So when you look at opposites, okay, it just means whatever word is expressed, you need to use the opposite word to what in which it is saying. So here is your first example. When you look at something big, such as an elephant, you will then use the opposite word, which would mean something small, like a mouse. If it was to be a nice, hot, sunny day, you would then use the opposite word if the weather was cold. If someone asked you to go left, the opposite word would be if somebody asked you to go right. Another good example is if it was night, the opposite would be if it was day. Okay, so these were a few examples that I wanted to share with you. Some nice easy ones there to get you going in terms of starting to get to grips with different opposite words. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to write down these opposite words, and I want you to come up with the word in which would mean the opposite to the words that I have given in your list. So first one, we have rich, then up, add, clean, fast, long, and deep. Okay, some of these may be a little bit more challenging for those of you that want to challenge yourself a little bit, but some of these you will all be able to do. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 minutes and I want you to have a quick go and see if you can write down as many words and the opposite words that go with them. Off you go. Good luck. Okay, so opposite word to rich then. So what you should have is poor on there. Okay, so let's write the answer in them. So the opposite to rich would be someone if they were poor. Okay, give yourself a tick if you got that correct. If not, write the correct answer next to that word. If you was to go up, what would be the opposite way? Yes, great job. Down. Sorry, not the best writing here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so up and down. Then we've got add. So if you were to add something, what is another word for take away? Great job. Subtract. Good answer there. I'm going to run out of room here, aren't I? Okay, if something was clean, what would be the opposite to clean them? Yes, spot on. Well done. So dirty. We have clean and dirty. I'm so sorry that this is all over the place. I'm sure your writing is 10 times better than what you're seeing here. Okay, if you were to go really fast somewhere, what would be the opposite to fast? Yes, amazing work. Very good. Slow. That was a nice easy one. So give yourself a tick there if you got that correct. If not, not to worry. Just put the correct answer next to that. Okay, if something was long, what would the opposite be? Short. Okay, well done. So we've got short here. Do apologise for my writing again. It's not the best. Okay, if something was quite deep, okay, this is quite a tricky one. Put a challenging one there at the end. What would be the opposite word? Okay, that would be shallow. Okay, so if you had a deep end of a swimming pool, you would also have a shallow end, okay, which is where you guys will be able to touch the floor. All right, so some of them again would have been nice and easy. I know some of them may be a little bit challenging, just to push yourselves a little bit. Okay, next task then, what I want you to have a go at is I want you to underline the word which means the opposite to the word in bold by the number, okay? So I've done the first one for you. Heavy. What is the opposite word? We had tall, light and thin. So the opposite word would be light. So what I want you to do, we're going to go through this one by one and see what we get from here. Okay, so first one, strong. If someone's strong, what's the opposite? Yes, weak indeed. Okay, so weak there, well done. If you found someone, what had they to be before they were found? So what is the opposite word to found? This one could be a little bit tricky. Nice, great work guys. Lost. So if you was lost, the opposite would be if somebody found you. Okay, great work. You're doing a really good job today. So if someone was your enemy, so they didn't really like you very much, okay, what would be the opposite? So someone that did like you quite a lot. Yeah, nice, easy one there. Great job. They would be your friends. Very good. So if someone was in upper school, what would be the opposite to upper? Yes, lower. Good job. Oh, we are flying through these. Well done. Okay. Another word we have is rude. If you were to rude to somebody, what would be the opposite? So when we use our please and thank yous, what would that word be called? Yes, I'm sure you all are super duper polite to those mummies and daddies. Okay, this one could be a little bit tricky. So we've got blunt. Okay, if something is quite blunt, so if I said my knife is blunt, just give you the answer there, what would be the opposite? Yes, if my knife was sharp. So we don't play with those sharp objects. Bitter. If something tasted quite bitter, what would be the opposite? I'm sure we all love these. Sweet. Nice. We are doing so good. We've got 2 left, everyone. Okay, if I was really happy and sad. Yeah, good. Last one, guys. If something was really wide, what would be the opposite? Good. Brilliant. So the word used for that would be narrow. Fantastic. So if you didn't quite get that, just make sure you've highlighted them for me, just so that you can refer back to them to have a go at them another time. Okay, now we move on to sentences, and we're going to see if we can identify the opposite word for the word that is highlighted in each sentence. Okay, so we'll do this together, and I'm sure the practice that we've had so far, you're all going to be absolutely amazing at this. So first one, it was a fat cucumber. Okay, so if someone's fat, what's the opposite? Exactly correct. Well done. So it would be thin. Brilliant. Okay, if we look at the next one then, so the train went very slowly. What's the opposite to that word? Yes, good job. So the train went very fast. That's what we'd hope most trains would go, so we get there quicker. Okay, next one then, number 3. The glass was empty. So when you finished your drink, if the glass was empty, what's the opposite to empty then? Exactly right. Well done. We are doing super job with this one, guys. So it would be full. When your glass gets empty, we would like it to be filled up, wouldn't we? Okay, number 4 then. We're getting through this nice and quickly, so well done. The dog jumped over the high wall. So what is the opposite to if you went really high? What would be the opposite if we came down to here? Yes, amazing work. Well done. So he jumped over a low wall. Great work. Keep it going. We're doing really well. Getting through this nice and quickly. The questions were difficult. So sometimes we find things quite difficult, but sometimes we find things quite, yes, fantastic work. Easy. The opposite to difficult is easy. We like it when things are a little bit easy, but also difficult to try and test ourselves. So, 2 words in this sentence then. The weather was hot and dry. So if something's hot, what's the opposite? Cold. Super job. Cold is correct. Moving on to dry then. Okay, if we look at our windows right now, the opposite to dry is, yes, very, very wet today. Where's that sunshine gone? Okay, long then. The twisty roads were very long. So if something's long, what's the opposite? Short. Yes. Fantastic work. Amazing job. We're on to that last one, and then we're ready to move on. The tall man entered the room. So if I was really tall, what would that be? Yeah, good job. Short. Fantastic work on these sentences. This is the hardest part of it. So if you're getting this, absolutely amazing work. Okay, ready to move on. Great job on this one. Well done. Now what we're going to do is have a little sing-song. Right, so just to remind you how to remember how to use antonyms, we're going to put it into a little song. So here goes. Antonyms are opposite, like stop and go, win and lose, fast and slow. Synonyms are words that mean the same, like clever and smart, fire and flame. Okay, after that lovely song and a beautiful voice there, it's going to be your turn, okay? So at home, what I would like you to do is I want you to use words that you can use opposites to describe your family and friends, okay? So are they tall? Are they small? Are they happy? Are they sad? All right, so have a go and see how many words you can use to describe your family and friends. Once you have done that, I want you to think of 5 more examples of opposite words that we haven't discussed today. All right, so write down 5 words with the opposites next to them. Once you have done that, I want you to go round your household and I want you to match the opposites. So if you've written on your list short and tall, I want you to list something next to it that is short and tall. Okay? Then the last bit we did was the sentences. What I want you to have a go at is writing your own 3 sentences using opposite words. So, the cat jumped on a really tall fence. Okay, you've used the word tall and the opposite would be small. Okay, good, well done. So, that's what I want you to have a go at. And I want you to see how well you can do at that after completing this lesson today. I hope you all have a lovely day. See you soon.